How's it going, guys? JP here, and first of all, excuse my voice. My throat's a little hurting right now, and I'm kind of talking a little bit weird. I bit my tongue; it's kind of swollen, so I apologize for that. But yeah, welcome to day number 4 in my 7 days of insect horror. We're talking about some killer insects here, and when you're dealing with killer bug movies, some are good and most are bad. Yesterday we kind of had a bad one. It was just kind of a struggle to get through. But on the opposite side of things today, we're actually dealing with a good one. The best one, or at least one of the best. At least what people would consider probably the most popular. When I started this, I let a few people know, and even a couple people in the comments as I was posting these videos asked me, are you gonna get to the nest? And yeah, I actually am right now. The Nest, from the year 1988, with a tagline of "Roaches have never tasted meat until now." Yeah, The Nest. This is definitely probably the most popular killer bug movie. It's actually what inspired me to do this theme week, because I saw this in my collection and I was starting to think of other killer bug movies I've seen, and I was kind of thinking like that might be fun to do. So that's why we're doing this right now. I had seen this film before, but it's been years, since I was a kid, so I didn't really remember a whole lot going into this one. This is a great addition, by the way, Scream Factory. Shout out to them. But let's get to the film. In a quiet town called Northport, we follow a sheriff. This town is, I believe it's in some New England small town. Basically, it's overrun by roaches. And these aren't just roaches. They're not cockroaches. They're carnivorous, man-eating roaches. They eat meat. They are killing animals and people. And then we find out later that they actually can kind of mutate with the stuff that they ate and kind of create this hybrid, animal roach hybrid or human roach hybrid, which was actually kind of took the film onto a different level, or in a whole different direction that I wasn't expecting. Like I said, I've seen this film, but it's been a while, so I thought that was definitely an interesting concept. So the bigger plot is that the sheriff, who you get the sense that he's not super serious about his job, or at least he doesn't take himself super serious, judging by how we are introduced to him. His house is a bit of a mess, and he just seems like he's going through the motions every day, and just doing what he gotta do. He has a girlfriend at the local diner, but a new girl comes back to town who used to be like an old flame of his, so that kind of restarts that relationship. She's also the mayor's daughter, which the mayor is kind of responsible for this whole thing. In a certain way, he agreed to let this company called Intech come in and experiment on these roaches. Their idea was to create a cockroach that would, kill all the other cockroaches and then die off. Unfortunately, they're not dying off, and they become immune to pesticides and stuff. And then there's this whole other subplot where how they're going to get rid of them is they're going to, bomb the island or whatever with pesticides that are lethal to humans. So they got to evacuate people, but they can't contact the people to tell them, not that they're not able to evacuate. And, there's a bunch of stuff going on, basically. But that's not what's important. The story, or the woman who, they mutated these cockroaches, none of that stuff is really important. What is important is the gore and the blood and the, overall fun time that this film offers. Wow, practical effects is these are the type of films that you just need practical effects for it to really, be a great movie. From what I understand, most of these roaches are real, if not all of them. I can't really think of any, rubber ones that, off the top of my head. I'm sure there might have been a few here and there, but for the most part, we're dealing with, Madagascar-style roaches, the big ones. They get under your skin. They, sometimes this stuff can make me shake, like, yeah, just, bugs kind of do that to me sometimes. And I'm not, overly afraid of bugs, but in large groups and they just look gross sometimes, you just don't want to deal with them. So, credit to the actors involved in this for, sticking through some of those tough scenes. Lots of gore, man. I was actually surprised how much gore and violence and, practical effects there was in this film. A lot of great scenes involving, cats and, hands and just mutated half human, half roach things. And I was really surprised with the amount of effects they did in this film. It really was awesome. And that's basically what the film is. It's just one set piece of special effects to the next, and that's kind of what you're enjoying there. I won't say that the characters were, over, they weren't overly likable or, unlikable. They were just kind of, characters. And this kind of, the evil corporation that's, experimenting on things. It's very of its time. The 80s kind of had plots like that, but that's really not what you're there for. You're there for the killer cockroaches eating shit and just terrorizing and blood and gross shit everywhere. It's fun. It really is fun. It's you know what, and honestly, the whole story does work well. It is, as many times as it's been done and as typical as it is of the time, it works for this film. And that's really all you can ask for in a film like this. I really enjoyed The Nest. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend The Nest. Check it out. 7.5 out of 10. That's my review for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.